Let's crack a lack in there, Rozmeister. So, let's get into how we're going to be making that routine of yours more difficult. The pull aparts, we're going to be keeping those the same. So the external rotations, pull aparts, dislocations, keep those the same. They're good for you. Okay, after that though, the one arm rows, we're going to change them by banding it up. You want to get a hold of your pink band and just tie a little knot in it at the end. And then when we get into this variation of the row, as opposed to a traditional single arm dumbbell row, where ideally I'd like you to go opposite foot to the same arm, the reason why we have this is so that when we bring the elbow back, there's like less kind of worry about colliding with the hip there or the other leg. But when we're doing this one, the resistance profile of the band, like how the band takes stress, is going to prefer it being on the same leg. So we're going to be like this, and the dumbbell might not be able to get quite as close towards the body, but the contraction is going to be a lot stronger. We want to do it on that leg and not the opposite leg, because if the band pulls us in that opposite kind of direction, probably going to get some shearing force around the spine. It's not going to feel too great. So we want to get the band, whatever arm it is that you're going to be rowing with, we're going to be standing on the band with the same leg. So if it's left arm, it's left leg. And we want to put that knot just on the inside of the foot. So that's going to come out there, and the further along we stand on the band, the more resistance it's going to have. We get the dumbbell, put the band over the dumbbell and put the band at the bottom of the dumbbell there. Grab hold of them, and then everything's set up as you normally would do. Chest is proud, shoulders pulled back and down. How bent down your torso needs to be is pretty much up to you. Like, as long as we're anything between about 30 degrees all the way to being fully horizontal towards the floor, we're going to be good. But I just advise that you get yourself in a position where that band's already got a little bit of the slack taken out of it. So once we're here, shoulder blade pulled back and down, elbow towards your hips, boom. And then as you can see there from where I am right now, I'll just stand to the side. So you can see this. With the band on the bottom there, we stand on that dumbbell. When I'm pulling that band back, once we're in that top position there, the band is pretty much the same kind of angle as what my elbow position is. And this just helps the movement itself feel good all the way throughout the movement and help you to get a good back contraction in there. Good thing with the bands is that because it's a rubber band, it increases the resistance as it gets towards the top. So that's going to feel really, really awesome when you're at the top, and a little bit easier when you're at the bottom. We're just looking at you finding a point on the band where it's difficult for between 6 and 10 reps on either arm. Start with your weak arm, finish with the strong arm, and just match the reps on your strong arm to the weak arm. When you get into your next one, which is your mountain climbers and planks, we're going to be changing them up by giving you a harder plank variation first, which is going to be the straight arm lateral step and plank. This is what it's going to look like. A couple of things that I would like you to note about this movement is that when we're stepping your feet out towards the side there, we're looking at driving with the heel, but keeping the foot facing down towards the floor. So the heel lifts up, goes out towards the side, taps down and comes back in. You want to stay right on your tippy toes and keep as much of your weight into your shoulders as you can do. The more you're on your tippy toes, the more it's going to be a core activation movements as well. And every time we drive with the heels, it's going to help to keep the glutes contracted throughout and just make sure that we're in a good position. So it's like this, shoulders over hands, right onto your tippy toes, lift the heel up, drive them out, tap that toe down, lift the heel up, drive it back in, swap over, boop, easy peasy. After that, we're going to get into some banded marches, which looks like this. It's an exercise that works the same kind of muscles as what the mountain climber does, but just to a way harder degree. When we're doing this, firstly, the hip flexors will take way more stress than the mountain climbers do, so you might feel some burning going up the front of the quads. The psoas as well, which is a muscle that's deep inside the abs, it goes from the hips up to the fourth vertebrae in your spine. That's going to get way more stress with this, so you might feel like you get something that feels a little bit like lower back stress with this, but as long as your lower back is sucked into the floor, it's probably not going to be actual lower back stress. Sorry, a little fly trying to get me then. So what you want to do, get one of your bands. I just use one of your weaker ones at first. Get it put around the midpoint of your foot. Lay yourself down on the floor. Get your back glued in towards the floor. Hands down, head down. We're going to get your legs out there straight. Get them about a foot off the floor. And then all we're going to do is pull one knee at a time in towards yourself until that knee is facing straight up towards the sky. Extend your legs out until the slack comes out the band, and then swap it over that next leg. Every time we're doing this, try and keep your legs straight as you can do throughout the whole movement. Try not to let them turn out, so you don't want that knee driving out while that foot stays in. Just try and keep the legs as straight as you can do, in line with the hip that they're coming up towards. Oh, super hard exercise. You'll be doing both the planks and the banded marches for time. After them, shoulder to shoulder press. Oh, the only thing that I would change with that for the moment, pardon me, is I would just start having about a 2 count pause on either arm. So when you're getting the dumbbell, we're straight up and down, 1, 2, up, down, 1, 2, up, down, 1, 2. And when you're bringing that dumbbell down, even if you let the tip of it tap down towards your shoulders, don't let it relax once it gets down there. Keep those shoulders pulled back and down, keep the elbow driving up, and just try and keep tension on your shoulders throughout the whole movement. Again, up, down, 1, 2, up, down, 1, 2, and just increasing that time under tension should help to increase the difficulty of that exercise plenty. Then after that, bicep curls, they're still feeling hard for you, keep them. The quad melter, aka the hack squat, the one that you're squatting, rolling up and down nice, and just get that thing loaded up, dude. Just get that thing loaded up, and honestly, try it with the 10 kilo dumbbell if it doesn't feel like it's difficult enough. I know those dumbbells, flat topped, see if you can get one of them stacked on the other. So you're holding 2 dumbbells kind of horizontally on top of each other. Might want to put them in the backpack or something like that. But yeah, get those 2 things, whack them on there if you feel confident with holding on to that. Give that a go, dude, give that a go. But honestly, just having a 10 kilo dumbbell and adding that into it should really make that feel difficult enough for you. Goblet style, boom, 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 smash that stuff. Oh, one of the movements that I forgot to go over yet was the replacement for your hip thrust with the lateral press. So it looks like your glute med is just getting a little bit too strong these days for something where it's going to be an assistance in a movement as opposed to being the direct thing that needs to get targeted. So we're going to start directly targeting it. We're just going to do lateral raises with the bands, and we want to be going up to a really difficult set of 10 to 15 reps and doing it for about 3 or 4 sets at a time. Just 3 or 4 sets is going to be enough to stimulate it. If you feel like doing 4 sets, get those in. So what you're going to want to do, firstly, set yourself up. You're just going to be laying down on your side. Now your head position is the thing I want you to worry about the least. You can keep your head propped up in your hands, you can keep it laying down there. For those educational purposes, I'm going to slide myself off there now so you can check out my feet a bit more. But yeah, what you do with the head, not too much of a deal here. What we are going to worry about is the rest of the body. We want to feel like the whole body is straight, but if anything, maybe dished in a little tiny bit. What we don't want is the body to be extended outwards like a dolphin. So straight as we can get, we want to lift those toes up. We're going to be driving this movement from our heels, and all we're going to do is lift the heels about a foot to 1.5 foot up in the air. Driving it from the heels, making sure that when we're doing this movement right now, we should be feeling it from the top side of the butt and from the mid side of the butt. If you put your hands just against the side there, the glute should feel like it's actively contracting as it goes through up the air. Drive that from the ankles and the heels. Once we're about a foot to 1.5 foot up, we're going to lower it back down until your heels are about 2 or 3 inches off the other foot, and then drive it straight up again. Now, as you're doing this movement, as I said, try and keep the emphasis driving through the heels and the ankles. If while you're doing this, you let that foot turn out, so the foot ends up facing towards the ceiling, then it's going to feel like a lot of hip flexor stress and not like a lot of glute stress. Or if you allow your body to turn back as you're doing this, then it's going to be the hip flexors, because basically whatever it is that's pointing towards the sky is pretty much what's going to take the stress when you're doing this movement. So yeah, body forward a little bit, drive from the heels and the ankles, keep that foot flexed upwards, till 1.5 foot in the air, lower it back down so 2 or 3 inches off, and go again. 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. Start off with your weakest band first for this one, and then just build up until you find out which one is going to be the absolute melter for doing these sets. Just keep it a controlled pace. We're looking about 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Boom.